What are you doing?
I'm reading the Monster Manual entry for zombies.
I hate to ask, but why?
Have a new job on Monday.
New job. Oh, that's cool. What's the job?
What, as a zombie?
A zombie as a job.
Yes, it's going to be brilliant. I'm going to be able to eat meat all day. Linnea Quigley's going to be up there dancing in the cemetery with her titties out. And I'm going to get on the radio and be like, send more cops.
But you're missing one really important fact. You can still be put down with one single shot to the head.
Nope, I've been playing Resident Evil 2 all weekend, and I know for a fact it takes at least 7 to put a zombie down.
Did you want to test that?
Capcom's never done anything shady before, so let's do this shit.
What, you actually want me to shoot you in the head?
Yeah, you'll be apologising for the divot in my brain afterwards, but it's going to be fine.
Well, I must admit I didn't think it would go this well. Okay, so I'm going to shoot you in the head, Lee. There's no way back from that. I'm going to shoot you in the head.
Go right ahead.
The bullet is going to come out of the gun, into your head, and you will be gone, dead.
No, I'll get back up.
Okay, that's what you want.
Oh shit. Wait, I start on Monday!
Fuck it. Hi guys, welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming. I am the Majestic Snare, and that is a shiny-headed monstrosity of evil.
Indeed. You've shot my hat off, so you get an achievement.
Always a good comeback. I'm impressed.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
It's not like you spend about a month thinking of it.
Well, I've been playing this game for around about a month.
So guys, welcome to today's review of Resident Evil 2 kind of remake remastered edition.
I would say remake, definitely.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. But just a quick announcement here. We're actually in new surroundings.
Yes, we have rented a whole set out in a factory complex. No, it's my bedroom. My girlfriend moved in, and we had a spare bedroom, so it is currently full of large TVs and gaming equipment.
It's actually not a bad little man cave, but for your purposes, it's covered by a green screen.
Yeah,
so.
it's just a couch, as far as you're concerned.
But yes, that's the announcements over with. Let's get into today's video. So, Lee, take it away.
Take it away. Yes, I did do the one-shot demo for our valiant listeners.
You did?
Yeah, I mean, everything I pretty much said in the one-shot demo is applicable here. I did like the game very much. I haven't finished the B run yet. I have finished an A run, and I did started another A run just for video capture footage.
And on that point,
I've put those words in the wrong order, but
and on that point, I'll just point out that I have not completed the first run through the A run.
No, but he's busy with life. What the fuck's wrong with him?
I know it's becoming a trend and it will stop. But certainly, I will say that I am an avid fan of the Resident Evil 2 game from ages old, so I can definitely still give you an opinion on basic game mechanics, look and feel, fun, enjoyment, and value for money. So,
but not the ending.
No. So I understand there are a few differences between the original and the current, but I haven't noticed any major differences as yet, like major differences.
Well, you have in the fact that it's now over-the-shoulder gameplay as opposed to fixed camera turret controls. They were actually talking about perhaps when they were making it, having it remain fixed camera. But they decided to go the Resi 4, 5 and 6 route.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with the Resident Evil franchise, then you probably haven't played any video games in the last 20, 30 years.
Fucking channel.
But basically a very well-loved franchise surrounded around the zombie genre of games. It's basically a survival zombie puzzle shooter. I don't really know what to call it apart from that.
Well, it's a survival horror game. It coined the phrase, didn't it, the first one?
So I remember in the classical days, and one thing I was very disappointed with in this remake was the title screen.
It didn't go Resident Evil 2.
It didn't do that.
No, it did not do that.
And to be honest, it's something I remember very fondly because as soon as you press start from the menu, it would go boom, and it'd give you this kind of like ominous like greeting to you starting the game. And this one, it goes bing. And you're like, oh!
It's more of like a crackling noise as the sort of logo sort of shatters a bit. I
will say from the bits that I can definitely remember at the start of the game, from the sort of cinematic stuff, you get introduced to the characters and things. They added a bit extra, I think.
Yeah, they do. Basically, you play the cinematic this time. Because before it was just like Claire bursts out a door, Leon shoots a zombie behind her or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you actually get to do it. And it was an interesting sort of addition, I suppose. why not if you got the chance to remake something people love? But I enjoyed that part.
Yeah, I did as well.
But I still, in the main game, I want it to be over the not over the shoulder, but from a fixed camera viewpoint. That's how I played Resident Evil 2. I'm a bit of a purist like that. I wanted to go back to it and have nicer graphics, but same game.
So you just wanted the literal remaster.
Literal remaster, yeah.
Which, we've gotten with other games to mixed reviews, so I can see why they didn't do that.
I'm not saying my opinion is right, it's just my personal preference is that.
It's wrong, yes.
But definitely the gameplay itself, if you've played any of the later Resident Evils, like the Resident Evil 4 onwards, really, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
that over-the-shoulder viewpoint. It's a very weird hybrid because it has that same game as before, but over the shoulder. So how well that mixes together, I'm not sure how well it mixes together.
I am absolutely fine with it. I mean, I'm one of the people that liked Resident Evil 5. I know you had...
I liked 5.
Yeah, you were okay with it.
I didn't like 4 as much, but I like 5.
I think 6 is where it shat itself, but
I didn't really play 6.
It's like having the same boss battle about 5 times. That was fun.
No,
just fuck off and die, prick.
So this whole game is based around escaping a police station, isn't it?
Yeah. So Leon's first day on the job, turns up, Claire's looking for her brother. It's Resident Evil 2, pretty much.
Yeah, it's exactly the same kind of premise, which isn't a bad thing. I think a lot of games these days have to be open world and live service and all that bullshit.
Oh, God.
It has to be for them to make money. But with this, it was a fixed scenario game. It's the Saw of video games, isn't it?
No, the Saw video game is the Saw of video games.
No, what I mean is, in the film Saw, you're restricted to 2 characters in one room, and the entire film plays out in that one room.
This is a big police station and an underground lab, and you go out in the city as well, and then in the sewers. It's not in one room.
But it's a contained environment. It's a story-based linear game, and it's good. So shut your face.
That was a bad analogy.
I'm trying to impart the feeling that it doesn't have to be an open world massive event like Anthem or
you can
other
just say a single player narrative experience.
It was taking you about 10 minutes to think of that, so shut your face. But I'm just trying to just let you know that having a game that's kind of in a fixed world, it's fine and people will love it. I mean, Resident Evil 2 is nostalgically very well loved as part of the Resident Evil franchise. I would say it's the best game of the franchise, an original run.
I would say so as well. I mean, I never actually finished one because as soon as those fucking hunters turned up and started swiping off my head with one hit, I was just like, yeah, fuck you, pal.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I saw one of the enemies called, was it a licker, I think?
Yep.
If I remember correctly. When you see that licker for the first time, you're like...
On the ceiling with its big waggly venom tongue.
And in the original cinematic, it kind of opened its mouth and turned its head at you, and it was like... Rah! That was scary as shit, but there was plenty of jump scares in this game in the original version. In the current version, I wouldn't necessarily call them jump scares, but there was definitely some moments which actually did get me.
Yeah, but it's mostly being in the right place at the right time. I know they don't feel as scripted, perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally you'll get a zombie bang on a window as you're going by, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is kind of freaky. And also, they seem to time it in this version because of the different camera angle. It's more scary than it used to be. When you had a fixed camera, you could see zombies getting up around a corner.
Yeah.
And this one, you're walking around and you suddenly hear something behind you. You turn around quickly and the fucker's coming at you because you haven't killed it properly, which takes a lot.
Yeah. That is one of the things I did complain about in the one-shot demo, and it's certainly here again. It's like you could blow a zombie's head off in one shot, or it could take like 6 or 7 bullets to put it down, and you're never really sure if you've put it down. In the old one, it used to go down, nice circular pool of blood came out to indicate it was properly dead. Nothing like that this time, so you're just like, please stay down, I'm running out of ammo, you fuck.
I remember with the old tank controls that you kind of had in the original game, you could actually point upwards.
Yeah, that was more appropriate with the shotgun, wasn't it, though? Because you just took their heads off.
You wait till they get close enough and point up and shoot the head off.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's how you shoot a shotgun, isn't it? Not going to start doing Baby Shark or something. Do not look that up on YouTube. It's one of those earworms for kids, and it's horrible. Just don't.
I have no idea what he's talking about right now.
You're a lucky man.
Okay,
so basically, I think with the mechanics of the zombies, the simple zombies, we had a quick discussion earlier before doing this filming that those zombies are too hard to kill or take too much to kill.
Yeah, I would say so.
At the base level. I found like all the puzzle stuff that was very, very just reminiscent and identical to the original.
Yeah, getting all the medallions is certainly very there. They did have some Resident Evil 7 influence stuff, like cutting the tape on the box when after you got the survival knife. Did you get that far?
Nope.
You didn't get that far. I was like right at the start.
They've introduced the boards, which weren't in the original.
The boards, yeah, I don't think they're original, and they stack, which is lovely, so they don't take up an inventory slot.
But some things don't stack, and that was a bit annoying.
Yeah,
like, if you're going to stack boards in your inventory, why can't you stack powder?
It's like you're carrying around like 300 pounds of wooden boards, and it takes up one inventory slot, but you can only have 60 handgun rounds in one slot. It's
just
like
bizarre.
But that's across all games, isn't it? It's all fucked up like that, inventory-wise.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a classic version of an inventory. It's not really something that's going to break the game. It's just you have to manage it closer than you would do normally in today's games.
I don't have a problem with that. I did do the anal thing of like running back and forth between the box, like, oh, I'll put this in my box.
Yeah,
that
lots
sort
of
thing.
I mean, there's achievements in these kind of games. There always have been for not saving or not
using the box.
Or doing it at a certain time and stuff like that. So if you are one of those kind of speed runners or completionists, this is a game that's going to keep you going for quite some time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think you get like something for doing the game in like 3 hours, and I was like, fucking hell.
You have to know exactly what you're doing, where you're going. A lot of the areas that I do remember from the original, when it dawns on you that you remember it in a different way, and it's a nice reminder. You get attached to it a little bit more. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah, it's again, once I was playing the one-shot demo and I was going through, I'm like, is this the part with the liquor? This looks like the part with the liquor.
Yeah,
and it wasn't.
And it was the corridor around the corner.
Yeah.
I had the same feeling. And like the helicopter crash at the very beginning as well, with all that stuff was very reminiscent, and I remember it very vividly on the cutscenes. But even for the day, it was an epic moment in the first part of the game. So I think they've done a great job of actually bringing it through a new engine and giving it sort of an update, like new lick of paint and a little bit of mechanics.
It looks fantastic. I mean, that's one of the things when you do sort of like...
And sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, like the ambient sound on it is just really unnerving. I mean, I wouldn't play it on like headphones or shit like that. It would freak me out.
I mean, it's like Resident Evil 7. I'd never play that on VR in a fucking million years.
Yeah, I don't think they've actually released it for... they were going to release it for PC on Oculus, weren't they, at one point?
Yeah.
But I don't believe they've done that, so it's still only PSVR exclusive.
Go and check out our video review of Resident Evil 7. But seriously, the jump scares were decent in that. And putting that into a VR setting, fuck off. No, never. I couldn't do it.
I could.
Sorry, that was a tangent.
But yes, the graphical fidelity of the game it's using the Resident Evil 7 re-engine, I believe it's called. And it looks great. The problem is you have when you're doing like zombies and stuff like that is it's so in the zeitgeist at the moment. It's so pervasive in our culture that you have to do it right. And if you don't do it right, it just looks fucking ridiculous, like a Halloween costume. Yeah,
but it's difficult because you have to either do it really, really well and tried and tested, or do something completely different. And the risk of failure is high on both. But it's a tried and tested game that people love, and to have it redone again. I mean, it's a good 20 years since it came out, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
25 years?
Probably.
Was it 97, 96, 97, 95?
96, I want to say.
Well, if we say, for argument's sake, it's 95, that's almost 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So, like...
It's long... I feel really fucking old now.
Yeah, I would do that for you, Lee.
Bastard.
Just for you, mate. So, basically, I think for a game that is so old, but manages to come at you new, I think that's quite an achievement. Personally, I don't like the over-the-shoulder camera element. I really would have liked it to be like it was, but that's just me being me. I think generally it's a well put together game. I did put all the settings up to full to see if my PC would handle it. No, that was a horrible experience. Probably got about 20 frames per second or something.
Yeah, I had the temerity to try it in 4K, and no.
So be aware that it's you can, if you want to beast it up, but it's probably quite well optimized, and it will know what your settings are.
It also does a lovely job in informing you when it's going to be a problem, because it will show you how excuse me, how much of your graphic memory you have available, and then it will go into orange, and it'll be like, okay, You know, it will run okay like this, and it get red. It's like you may get bugs and stuff and glitches. So it is really well done and really well optimized. And you can see exactly how you're affecting the game, so you can choose. Okay, I'd rather have like the textures be all nice, but fuck the shadows, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I do like about these age of games where it wasn't about the different types of weapons you could get. There are a number of different weapons you can get, but it's not a matter of this certain type of pistol. You basically get like a good pistol and a standard pistol. Like later on, it's not like you have 16.
And you can also add like upgrades to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like increase clip size, get a stock on it. You have like a triple burst thing going on as well.
Yeah, so there's bits to do, and the focus seems to be on doing the puzzles and surviving, and not shooting things as much as possible. Because
in fact, in Claire's B run, you get almost immediately like a single action 6-shooter, and she fires it from the hip.
She did that before, did she?
I can't remember, but like I was just like, yeah, if you have one of those and you fire from the hip, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that the character models look faithful, which is nice.
Well, they have the original versions of the models in there as well now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, that was like free DLC. They've released like quite a lot of free DLC. There's like episodes as well with different
Yes,
characters.
I will be getting involved in those in time, the extra bits, but they obviously say don't play these until you complete the game. But I'm like, no, shouldn't I? Oh, I don't know, so I haven't. But I definitely will, because I think having that extra bit, this is what a remaster or remake should be.
Yeah, it is a really good example.
Here's the thing that we've always spent the time on to put it together, and here's some extra stuff around it. Well done, Capcom, for a change.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's a game that people love. So we're going to just take that game and we're going to give it modern mechanics, we're going to give it modern graphics, and we're going to let you re-experience that game in a different way, which is what a remake should do. It shouldn't just be, okay, it's HD now.
And it's nice to see they've tried to do something with it and not just be fan service to people like me who just want nicer graphics on the old game.
Yes, although it is my biggest bugbear in one of the changes that they have decided to make, and that is Mr. X. He will follow you all over the shop.
Yes.
That is the biggest thing that prevents me from like going back and playing this game. Is always like, I can't be asked to deal with Mr. X. He's not scary, he's not threatening, he's just a hindrance. He's too slow to be a threat. Unless he catches you like between him and another enemy, like a licker, that there's no threat to him because he's so fucking slow. You just turn around the corner, oh, there he is, I'll just go back the other way.
Well, the problem was that when you're doing tank controls, he needed to be slow.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that hasn't translated, hence my argument for being as it was. Or
yeah, but
having
in the
to change
first
him up.
one, he wasn't like continually pursuing you. He only turned up for certain bits.
Well, he only turned up to my memory in the second playthrough. Because one of the things it did in that game originally was you played through as Leon or Claire to start with, and then you played through with a second character second time through. That's a quick tip for IGN.
Which you didn't do either.
I didn't say that I have.
Fair enough.
But certainly the Mr. X would appear in the second playthrough. And also if you'd spent all of your time gathering up all the ammo for Leon or Claire the first time round,
It was gone.
It was gone for the second one.
And you also had the choice, didn't you? You had like a machine gun or the expanded inventory, and you could take them both in your first playthrough. But if you did that, there'd be fuck all left for you on the second.
Absolutely. So while I don't know if that applies here for the second time through, certainly having Mr. X in the first run through is not where he should be, and he should be more threatening. I agree.
It doesn't apply.
If you've got ability to switch around quickly, run around, and be free in your aiming and stuff like that, he should be more of a threat, and he's not.
Yeah, it doesn't quite tie together that well in the second playthrough. I mean, for instance, in the armory, there's like a row of lockers that you can open up when you get like the keys you can put in. But there's like a big armory at the end, and inside you can see, like in Leon's playthrough it's a Magnum, but in Claire's playthrough it's a grenade launcher. Claire's like B playthrough, so Leon is theoretically already taken the Magnum, but now there's magically a grenade launcher and it's relocked itself.
Wow, that's a secret character we don't know about. Mr. X, that's what he's doing. Yeah, he's walking around.
It's probably Tofu. Tofu came through and fucking locked everything after him.
No, Mr. X, that's why he's so slow, because he's thinking he's invisible, right? You can't see him, and then he's basically picking up weapons out of cupboards and putting things where they should be for Claire
He's
or
just
Leon.
tidying up.
Yeah, so that's what the X is. It's like this little claw that goes around picking things.
He's just a maid.
So I think there's not much to say about this in a general review sense, because it feels weird to review a game that's 25 years old but not. But I will say, if you're a fan of Resident Evil, you've probably already got this damn game, as with most of our reviews.
I would expect. I mean, even my dad, who very rarely buys games, normally gets me to buy them on the various number of birthdays and Father's Days and extra days that he doesn't deserve. But like, he went out and bought it, and he hardly ever does that. It's even like Red Dead 2 or
big ones.
The big ones. He'll just normally wait for Christmas or something. But
yeah,
this.
Well done to Capcom and any associated developers, which I don't know who they are because I'm terrible. But
somebody. It's probably a Japanese lad.
But certainly, for the time I spent with it so far, I've enjoyed it. But for me, I would have wanted it to be the old style of game. I think the tweaks they've done are probably to bring it back up to the modern age, and I think that it could have done with a few more tweaks, maybe in terms of gameplay with Mr. X.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Mr. X is my biggest bugbear, the other being the RNG of the zombie headshots. But yeah, I mean, Mr. X, he's not threatening, he just pisses you off. He's a hindrance. If you're trying to do a puzzle and he's on your ass, you're like, fuck's sake. You know, I have to go out, lose him, come back. And like, to lose him, it's just like I go in a room with something in the middle of it, so I just run around the fucking table like Benny Hill or something.
I did see a beautiful video of somebody playing as Claire in the library, and Mr. X is literally stomping towards her, and she pulls out the grenade launcher and just points it at him, and he literally turns around and walks away. It's so funny. I love little clips like that. If you can find beautiful little meme clips, it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm going to try that.
I think he quite literally stops and then turns around and as if to say, "All right, I'm going." But yeah, guys. So I don't know what you guys think of this. If you've played it, have experienced it, watched videos on it, what your thoughts are on Resident Evil 2, the actual remake of it. I don't know what to give it as a score out of 10. It's difficult.
I know exactly what to give it.
Well, I will.
Number.
Well done, Lee. I would probably give it. I'd probably give it around the 7 mark. I don't necessarily can really give a proper score. I haven't completed this game, so my kind of like, I wouldn't necessarily just call it first impressions either. I'm like halfway between.
Yeah.
I would give it more of a 7 based on the fact that my personal preference of it being a fixed camera isn't there. But I think it's a damn good job that they've done. And 7 to me is a good score for a game like this. It's definitely done a good effort at producing an old game for a new audience, keeping the Resident Evil franchise alive without fucking up even more with Resident Evil 24. So I was expecting, I remember a really old Resident Evil game that came out around the same time, just after, called Survivor. It was the first person shooter one.
Was that the one with the light gun?
Yeah.
We had that, yeah.
So it'd be interesting if they try and resurrect that in VR or something.
Well, I think they're doing Resident Evil 3 is on the cards, perhaps.
What, the Code Veronica one?
No, the 3 Nemesis.
Because there's rumours about that as well.
Yeah, because like Resident Evil 3 was a great game, but it was kind of like overshadowed a little bit with Code Veronica.
So, yeah, I think I'll give it a 7.
I would go higher. I would give it an 8. I would say if you didn't have Mr. X bugging you all of the time, I would even go so far as to give it a 9. But an 8 it is.
It's solid. Yeah,
I mean, Mr. X is essentially fucking Roman from Grand Theft Auto 4. You're trying to do something and he's fucking bugging you.
Hey, Mr. X wants to go bowling.
Nico, go bowling with me, cousin. It's like, fuck off and leave me alone.
I want to find a girlfriend.
You fucking deformed prick.
You want to go to the bar?
It's just like someone, I bet you if we look on YouTube, someone's memed that and just dubbed in like Roman and Mr. X fucking popping up all over the place.
Roman X.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's a valid scores, and obviously it shows the difference in experience of the game. Lee's obviously had a lot more time with it, so probably we'll have to go for an 8 because my 7 is personal.
Well, my 8's quite personal as well. It's my opinion.
You always have to have the last fucking word, don't you?
No, I don't.
After a review, we actually just have a fight. No, it's 7.
After every shoot day, so you can't see the marks.
Yeah. That's why we film so sporadically and don't put our faces on film. Yeah. But yeah, so that's our review of Resident Evil 2. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else to mention, is there, about the game?
You can. There is DLC available for it outside of the free stuff, but they have done. You can pay a couple of quid and actually get the original soundtrack, which is a really nice touch. I would have liked to have seen that not having to be paid for, which would be nice. But it's only a couple of quid, and it's so iconic.
Have you got other DLC for free though?
Yeah, you got all the big DLCs that you'd expect them to pay for free.
So yeah, pay with one hand, take with the other. Yeah, so guys, that's our review of Resident Evil 2, the remake. So yeah, let us know what you think down in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think about this game, your experience with the old game back in 1995 or whenever the damn thing came out. I think it was 95, 96.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
I want to say maybe even 97, but I can't remember.
It's definitely PS1 era anyway.
Yeah, maybe even 92. No, it would be 92.
Stop making me older.
It's PS1, so it would have been 94 at least. So I think I bought it with my PS1.
I didn't. I remember
95. I reckon 95.
I remember I bought it in a briefly open second-hand game store just up the road from where I live.
Happy times. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we have videos out every Wednesday and Saturday.
And if you want to, please consider ringing that bell, and then you'll get notifications of all of our good shit on Wednesday and Saturday. Or you could just look Wednesday and Saturday.
And let us know what you think about the new kind of setup here. Not that you can see anything but
how's the couch?
Yeah. Makes noises.
It makes noises, and it picks up every single mark. Don't tell my girlfriend, but she was fucking right. I shouldn't have gone with the faux suede.
I'm going to make sure she watches this. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.